It's now my pleasure and honor to introduce to the stage Sareen, who's going to take you through some pieces on the creator economy.
Thank you very much, Patrick. Thank you. Hello, everyone. Hope everyone's doing well. For the people that I've not met yet, my name is Sareen, and I head up the influencers and creators partnership type for Impact.com for the EMEA region. And today, I really hope to spark some inspiration as we talk about the biggest influencer trends that we're seeing in 2023. Cool. As we kick off, we all know influencer marketing is evolving. Right? The industry has grown exponentially for the past few years because people are just spending more time online. And in fact, the influencer marketing industry is expected to grow in excess of $21 billion this year. And in 2016, this number was around 1.7 million. So let that sink in, think about it. It's not growth, doubling or tripling. It's grown 12 times larger than it was just a mere 7 years ago. And with all this growth comes change. So, sorry, I think it's moving. Firstly, we see the lines between influencer and affiliate marketing start to blur. We also see audiences becoming more and more aware and more savvy about the content that they consume, making it more important than ever now to build that trust and authenticity. And finally, led by TikTok, short-form video has really become one of the most important tools for content creators. So let's start with that. So attention spans are changing as well. In 2004, an average person could focus on a single screen for about 2.5 minutes. And today, this number is down to a mere 47 seconds. We're reaching sensory overload. And in today's world, this really means that marketers must use those seconds really wisely. But it's not all bad. Your brain has a remarkable ability to adapt. And in the attention economy, users make up for the short attention spans with short bursts of intense focus. And TikTok capitalized upon this by designing an app encouraging short, attention-grabbing, and engaging videos. The app rocketed to prominence, as we all know, and other social media platforms really followed suit. I'm pretty sure you guys have all heard of Instagram Reels and YouTube Shorts. Short-form video content that drives the most engagement on Instagram, for instance, is a mere 26 seconds long. And the example that we've got shown up here on the screen is a 23-second Instagram reel from TikTok famous Charli D'Amelio. It's amassed more than 4.3 million views. And she's just showing off her favorite Amazon products, but think about the reach there. So marketing should really meet customers where they are. And right now, the customer is hooked onto short-form video content. Gen Z makes up nearly 20% of UK's population, and they really gravitate towards this format. You can see it in their social media habits, right? Their favorite platforms by far are TikTok, Instagram, and Snapchat. So rather than fighting this drop in attention, here's how to use it to your advantage. Firstly, I like to talk about making content accessible. Right? It's a lot to ask someone to sit down for an hour-long webinar. Thank you all for showing up, by the way. But most people have 30 seconds, right, to spare and go through an Instagram reel. So this format really requires the creator to get straight to the point and not waste any time. Secondly, it's about making content shareable. Again, your audiences may hesitate to forward on a 30-minute YouTube documentary on their friends, but they'll gladly send a funny TikTok, right? For brands and creators, it means more eyes on the content. And then the third point is making content social. Not only can people easily share these videos, but they can also respond. And this interactivity can really make this format, go viral and catch fire. And then the last one is make content easy to produce. By the end of the day, it allows brands and creators to work together and pivot if needed, right? Content can go live and reactions can be seen towards that content. And whatever the reaction is, further content can be produced, which is reactive. So to really harness your audience's precious moments of this intense focus, give them something good to focus on. And I mean that quite literally. Think about it. What do you guys use the internet for, right? Like, majority of big uses are about learning something, collaborating with friends, colleagues, even connecting on an informal basis. But most of us go to YouTube or TikTok, I know I'm guilty, to see something entertaining or funny, right? And it becomes an enjoyable part of your day. So that's why the most popular videos on TikTok elicit happiness and surprise rather than anger or sadness. So really wrap that content into something enjoyable. And the best short-form content is brief, it's engaging, and it lets the viewer want more. And brands can really help creators achieve this by providing a brief with content ideas and messages to really make sure that everyone is aligned in this equation. I want to bring everyone's attention to an example here. So our creator managed services team worked with Get Smarter, and it's a company that offers online education courses from leading British universities like the University of Cambridge. And together, they created an influencer campaign to drive course signups by really creating inspirational, educational content, which included a lot of short-form video content. And with the help of detailed briefs outlining the brand's goals and the messages, there were about 16 influencers that were hired. They created short and engaging content across YouTube and Instagram, which resonated really well with their audiences. This generated a lot of excitement around the courses that were available, and then the campaign ended up generating 6 times more the expected impressions at a fraction of the budgeted CPC. And it drove 209 course signups, more than 620,000 clicks, and reached over 1.5 million people. So let those numbers sink in. That's amazing performance right there. And in our next example, a mix of short-form video content and images were used together. So e-commerce retailer Elos, based out of the Nordics, worked with Impact.com, and they really focused on creating short-form video content, including Instagram stories, and then posts on TikTok to really highlight the fashion and furniture within the Nordic market. They partnered with about 130 micro-influencers who created just around 1,000 pieces of content. About 20% of this was short-form video, with the majority still being images, but still the campaign was a hit. It brought in over 900 conversions and generated just under $80,000 in revenue directly. So moving on to the next topic a little bit, audiences are changing in their ways too, right? They're becoming more aware of authenticity in content. So if they feel that you're faking it as a creator, you've pretty much lost their attention. As many as 88% of consumers say that it's important for influencers to care about their interests genuinely. And that's nearly unanimous, right? Like 88% is a very, very large number. They want something real, something that they can trust. So you may have heard of the term de-influencing. So rather than promoting a product in its traditional sense, the influencers have started calling out other creators who oversell or overclaim product benefits, consumerism, and basically products that aren't really worth the money. So what's more real than helping your audiences save money and avoid disappointment? And this also speaks to the shift that we're experiencing from social advertising to social partnerships in general, where real opinions count. Brand values and content need to align, and long-term partnerships see better results. Think about it. The longer you work with an influencer, the better attuned they are to your values, and more their content will align with your brand values. And a pro tip for authenticity, not all influencers are the right fit. Spend time researching on their content's alignment with your brand image, really ensuring that authenticity piece. And where creators feel comfortable giving their real opinions, brands can more easily find those who truly align with their values. And this kind of openness and authenticity helps foster that positive relationship between brands, consumers, and influencers, which is built on trust, right? And trust is vital for this long-term success. And brands would do really well to borrow some of this trust from the influencers. And in fact, more than 80% of the UK's population makes e-commerce purchases according to Statista. And this means that building trust online with your customers is more important now than it's ever been. And whilst brands may feel alarmed to see influencers encouraging audiences not to buy something, it might be better to look at it as a strategy to strengthen the relationship before influencing a future purchase, right? And an influencer's audiences can see that they're getting the whole truth and the wider picture, which really builds that trust again. And building that relationship pays off both for brands and influencers, and it requires time, it requires nurturing, it requires patience. But the value of these long-term partnerships far outweighs the strategy of one-off content drop. And when a partner with an established audience recommends your product or service, that trust really gets transferred to your brand in the eyes of the consumer. And according to our own research that we've done here at impact.com, on consumer behavior, 70% of UK shoppers, at least sometimes, frequently, or always, purchase a product based on influencer recommendations. They're likely to trust the review of and opinions of industry specialists, which is about 56%, so 1 in 2. Again, very significant, but also someone they consider to be like them. This is really where that creator economy and the influencers shine as a partner. And then you can see that celebrities are also part of the mix by 33% when it comes to those large branding awareness campaigns. So brands and influencers really need to connect better with each other in order to build that trust with their audiences. And brands traditionally bring influencers off in a one-off campaign basis, but long-term partnerships can really help both the sides. So longer lasting partnerships also incentivize influencers on the other end to dive deeper and better understand the brand that they're working with, the products, and the story as a whole. A deeper understanding also enables the influencer's content to connect better with their audiences, which can eventually end up driving more sales. I want to talk about another example here of Reef Footwear. Like many during the pandemic, they turned to influencers to reduce their media production costs, right? So they've been creating content a very long time. There's a cost associated to it. But they did more than just launch a few one-off campaigns where they could gather content. They launched a program called the Advocates of Capture in 2021. And as an internal agency, they hired about 13 content creators in total. And they paid them yearly on a retainer basis. Now, from an influencer standpoint, rather than juggling several brands, they became expert ambassadors for Reef. And this strategy freed Reef of production costs, really provided their influencers with a stable income, right? So it was a win-win on both sides. And what they did after that is paired this with performance-based compensation and long-term partnerships that really incentivized influencers to create evergreen content that helps them build that residual income from sales on top of their retainers. Oops, has this gone? Yep. So the next step here in regards to, I think the slide is not moving. Sorry about that, guys. Cool. So the next perspective that we want to talk about is, I think you've moved it forward again. Sorry. I don't know what's happening. Sorry, guys. Okay, we spoke about this. And okay, I'll just continue. It's not changing at all here. Okay, perfect, cool. So, sorry about that. Let's continue. So as I mentioned earlier on, another significant change is coming, right? And this change is really that evolving relationship between affiliate marketing, influencer marketing, and paid social. So whilst they were all seen as discrete things, the lines are blurring more and more. Integrating these programs can really build incredible results. And in the past, these parties were handled by separate teams, following different strategies and perhaps even using different tools. And today, we really see those walls crumbling down. And it's time to bring them all together and better understand what it means to drive full funnel partnership marketing. Cool. So what's the benefit of this, right? There is simplicity, efficiency, and increased revenue. I love this slide, by the way, so please take photos. Marketing teams can really simplify the management of their partnerships program by using one consolidated platform to manage everything from recruitment, contracting, negotiating usage rights for the content, tracking metrics that may be upper funnel, tracking metrics that are lower down the funnel, payments, draft approvals when it comes to creating those collaborations, and working with creators and affiliates alike in one place. Not only will this allow you to streamline and automate your processes, but leveraging the same platform and tools for both the programs will really reduce marketing costs in total. And a unified team can really help improve the return on investment on your marketing efforts. For example, a performance-based marketing experience from the affiliates team can really help influencers design better, the influencer team help design better incentives for influencers, really increasing their productivity. And then on the flip side, the team can attract, higher quality affiliates by incorporating something like a flat fee in their compensation model. And whilst affiliate market is great at driving the lower funnel conversions, influencers really have the power to widen the top of the funnel and lead their audiences of high quality and brand-aligned consumers into that sales funnel. And finally, paid social media campaigns can boost those affiliate and influencer marketing efforts by broadening the potential audience and ensuring that content gets in front of the right interested eyes. And using a single uniform platform like Impact.com Creator, nudge, nudge, wink, wink, sorry for that shameless plug, there is a major benefit that gets unlocked, right? Complete data views. You can track every part of a customer journey down the sales funnel. You can see which partners are best at bringing customers in, which ones are really good at sealing the deal, or which ones are struggling. With true full funnel customer journey visibility, you can optimize their incentives to really encourage them to play to their strengths. Data-driven decisions will really help your partnership program yield maximum results. And as we look to launch our amazing new product, Impact.com Creator, in the next couple of weeks, I would really like to show everyone a quick sneak peek of what we have in store. That was pretty cool, wasn't it? So now, just to conclude, we all know that our industry never stops changing. Keeping an eye on the biggest trends will really help you stay ahead of the curve. And who knows what we have in pack for 2024. We're working on it. We'll keep you guys updated. But for now, for 2023, halfway through, I really encourage you to prioritize authenticity, leverage the growing power of short-form content, and really embrace that convergence of paid social, affiliate marketing, and influencer marketing to really create that powerhouse trifecta of partnership marketing so that you can meet the future with a stronger influencer marketing program. And I'd like to open up the floor to any questions. Thank you very much. Any questions, guys? Hands raises, anyone? I think there's one at the back over there. Someone's coming to you with a mic on the other side.
Hi. I'm an influence manager myself. I've been it for 3 years. I've noticed when the industry is going from paid advertising to affiliate, how do you navigate through that? Both as a business and both my influencers don't like it. They want to be paid, not commission. Thank you.
That's a very, very valid question. And a lot of businesses, in any sort of space that they might be, are looking at this challenge, right? So from a perspective of having open communication and dialogue with each influencers and enabling sort of a little bit more, dynamic compensation strategies. So one thing that a lot of our clients are doing now is enabling hybrid payouts. Now, what that means is, you can issue sort of a smaller fixed fee or a fixed fee that might help the influencer cover the cost of their production, because we need to understand from an influencer's aspect, there's cost that goes into their work. It's their job, it's their profession. So, there needs to be sort of payments coming in. But then tying that in with performance-based payouts that the influencer can sort of keep growing closer to the brand in enabling those long-term partnerships and then keep on earning on a retainer basis as well as a performance basis. So the example of Reef Footwear that I gave, that's kind of what they did, right? In a perspective of enabling this change and converging both paid advertising with influencers or paid partnerships with influencers, along with a performance-based payout, sort of bringing those together and housing them in one place. I think you should really talk to some of our salespeople. They'll explain it to you way better than I did. Amazing. Anyone else? Any hands in the audiences? Well, yes, I think there's one more over there. And a mic is racing towards you.
Hi. Even it sounds interesting to me also when you said you stitch affiliate, influencer, and the paid social. My question is, I understand the affiliate and influencer bit. How do you stitch paid social to it to have a common string? What is that common string? Of course, content can be a common string. Yeah. But what else can be a common string so that the communication or what you sent it out is uniform across all these 3 platforms?
Yeah, so one thing that we're really trying to sort of push as a message with impact.com is, I think influencer and affiliate as market-wide is already showing that convergence and it's coming into effect. The paid social aspect becomes quite interesting, right? Because for influencer activity and creator activity, it is really that content that sort of drives that engagement piece, it reaches to many different audiences, and the convergence with the paid social there really helps any organization direct it in a specific place. There's a really cool part of the new platform that's coming out that allows access to a Facebook Manager or TikTok Spark Ads to sort of be connected within that same partnership agreement with an influencer where this part can be pulled in as well. So on a content basis is kind of what's driving this, but operationally to execute it is really where sort of having a platform really sort of accelerates that aspect, right? And that's we're kind of seeing with especially the examples that we're working with in the managed services team to really have that multiplier in effect, not only on metrics that are upper funnel, but really going through that whole funnel, right? And seeing how influencers content that might be, posted to drive the audiences into that sales funnel using affiliates as well as paid social to really drive those conversions. And then another place where it really helps is repurposing of that content, right? So as a part of the workflow, once you've defined usage rights, what really happens there is that you can have usage or ownership of that, co-ownership of that content for a specific amount of time, and then really sort of reutilize it, right, in that sense. So again, besides the 3 that I spoke about, there's also the content creation team, that can have some efficiencies off of it. So that's why the image that I showed where how influencer marketing sits across many functions is really sort of quite interesting, and there's a lot of efficiencies to be had for the whole marketing team. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, it kind of answers. But I agree that your slide, even I agree with the same slide. I'm also interested in that slide, how we leverage it to the paid social bit.
Yeah.
And that's where it gets really interesting.
Yeah, for sure. No, 100%. Let's catch up afterwards. And I think it's time for networking now anyway. So thank you very much, guys, for listening.